If I talk about the biggest 0.33% on an yearly basis in the last decade, which is a tremendous growth. Basically, looking at the reasons, there's been a lot of infrastructural change, there's been increase of per capita income, and there's been a boom and demand in the steel market. Boom and demand in the steel market is it's normally related to the supply and chain ratio and what's the demand happening, but if we take it down on papers and we see it economically, it shows that there's a constant diagram we can face for the demand and supply chain. So that itself is showing that there's been a major changes happening all across the world as far as steel is concerned. We have some stats with me. India right now is producing almost 56 million tons of steel against 124 million of steel almost 10 years back, with a further target of almost 112 million tons of steel in the next 5-year plan. Now here we can see that there's almost an increase by 70 to 80% in the demand and again in the production cycles. Where does all this steel go, and how do we see that, where is this demand coming from? There's been major factors. Definitely people must have moved around India itself. They must have seen themselves that there's been a tremendous infrastructure lift happening here and there. Globally, there's been a lot of demand through China, Europe, Russia. All these global markets are supporting these Indian markets to increase their productions and do some value-added products to the steel market. Though we are facing some problems as well, if I talk about the Indian market and the United scenarios, I myself see particularly 3 problems coming up, in particular in India for the further growth of steel sector out here. First of all being the raw materials. Chhattisgarh especially is famous for sponge iron units out here. Chhattisgarh did come up well with sponge iron, and that's where the basic growth of steel happened in Chhattisgarh. Now for sponge iron, the basic 2 raw materials required is coal and iron ore. Coal and iron ore has become a problem day by day for the steel manufacturers because the prices are getting out of control. The cost of production evaluated probably in a period of 2006-07 and now, or looking forward to 2010-11, there's almost going to be a change by almost nothing less than 60%, which is on a very high range. I don't know where we lacking and why are we not able to procure the same raw material at a decent prices so that the prices can be controlled at some point of time, but doesn't look like. Though we have tried to work out some imported material, especially we're trying to import coal from South Africa and Indonesia. But again, the prices are not that great what we're looking forward to. But this is a substitute. We cannot rely a long time on these countries for the imports of coals and all. So Indian government has to do something about it. There's a tremendous reserve in India. Korba, a very nearby belt, is full of coal, and SECL is doing the complete mining there. Though we have linkages with them, but somehow they're not able to fulfill the requirements. Again, facing 2 major problems. One is the infrastructure. They don't have enough infrastructure to get such a huge quantity of coal across India. The railway lines are not properly laid down, situated in Chhattisgarh itself. Again, similar problems, poor infrastructure, no railway lines from Badbil to Raipur or any state or the part. And NMDC, again, the price variations, and it's very difficult to cater with them. So now looking at these 2 points, how do industries work their formats for future, and how do we do further expansion and all. For which we have in mind, there should be some kind of a private-public partnership where mining controls should be, taken up with some private players, and probably it would come down to a mutual understanding to increase the productivity. More mining capacities has to be utilized, probably either mechanized mining or labor mining, whatever the way it may be. But there has to be some drafts laid down for next plan, which unfortunately is not happening right now. There's another problem that I'm seeing is if we realize that we are right now only talking about sponge power, but I would like to bring to notice that sponge and power has given way to another small-scale industries around the state and across India. All the substitutes right now, we were going through a presentation by Ashland, and the kind of things these guys are doing and they're planning is definitely supporting these major industries. So Ashland is one good example we have seen recently, and there are a lot of other industries who can see the scope for growing, because all these major industries need those small tiny equipments which need to support the major systems. So as an overall we see, now the point comes here is there's not enough R&D happenings. Somehow major industries are concentrating on a upper level, on a mega projects, talking about 1200 megawatts, 3 million tons of steel plant and all those stuff. But unfortunately, nobody is looking at those supporting systems for these industries. So I believe there should be more R&D done. More and more smaller companies should get involved into these kind of projects and try and work out that if they can manufacture some of the equipments at a lower cost, which has been imported from different countries. There are a lot of equipments for these plants which have been imported on a very high volumes, and if some people can get into this and probably, and I believe if somebody is ready to do it, people like us are also ready to do a collaboration with them and probably encourage them to invest those things in India itself, and India is looking at a huge global market here then. So that's one thing I would like the smaller industries to come across and take an overview on those aspects. Thirdly, and the most importantly, as mentioned by the Governor sir yesterday, it's the environmental and pollution issues again, which is definitely spreading a bad word across industries in Chhattisgarh itself. I personally believe we have equipments available. There are equipments which can control pollutions up to the levels which cannot be imagined. It's all about the industry itself, the directors, the management, they have to take a call on that, deciding what kind of equipments are best for the industries. I don't believe if we say that there cannot be a pollution-free industry. In fact, all industries are pollution-free, it's just that how well you want to do it. For Godavari, I've taken some steps and I've taken a target of 2010 that it's going to be 100% pollution-free. Right now it's around 90%. The balance 10% I've targeted by next year, and I'm going to set an example in Raipur to make sure that Godavari becomes the first sponge iron unit in Raipur itself, which can be claimed as 100% pollution-free unit. So there are measures, there are people to help you out. There are government agencies as well, you can take their help as well. So pollution is becoming a point, and something seriously has to be done about it now. Otherwise, next 5 years, I don't see Raipur going to the extent that the plans are. Because government is not going to give them any clearances as far as pollution norms are concerned. The companies, the industries who are not ready to work strictly with the government for the pollution matters, I don't see anything happening in their organization as well. So these were few points that needs to be taken care of. Overall, steel scenario looks good. There has been a certain increase in demand recently, so the prices are going well now. 2012, I don't see any harm for steel industries. Steel industry should pick up, demand should pick up. India itself needs a lot of infrastructure work yet to be done, so there's still a consumption pattern looks quite steady, and we can still see an average growth of at least 7% per annum as far as steel sector is concerned. So people should get more connected, people should be less scared about it. Market volatility would always be there. We guys started saying share market और steel market दोनों एक ही जैसा हो गया, बस वहाँ क्या होता है यहाँ क्या होता है किसी को कुछ पता नहीं चलता है. But it's not that bad. You can study the patterns, you can plan your outputs, plan your productions. Raw material availability definitely would be a point to be discussed every morning. But it's nothing that major that can hamper any of the major infrastructure plans. So thank you very much. Steel looks good, and I'm very confident that Godavari and my subsidiary companies are going to still do well. And I'm hopeful for more people